if you would do us the...
An inheritance.
It would seem the late Archduke penned this
The day before we left for Phoenix.
What are these plans?
His plans for the duchy, Your Grace. Your father entrusted them to the complete emancipation of bearers is their stated aim. But your father's dream did not end there. His Grace also spoke of building hospices to care for those stricken by the curse, and the founding of a new universe with the blight spreading ever more widely across the twins. Archduke Elwin saw this as the only means of securing Rosaria's survival.
He wished to see men and bearers treated as equals. To see centuries. Small wonder he did not think it achievable within his lifetime.
But he thought it achievable nonetheless. Had he not, nor would he have entrusted those who would have stood with you, shielded you from the machinations of the
It's a pity only they us.
'Tis true that those most loyal to your father, but one at least remain.
What do you mean?
Mayhap it is better that she, after all, the duties entrusted to me by my predecessor, extended only to recovering His Grace.
And where is this?
She awaits you in the...
Thank you, Cyril. Shall we then?
The bearer of the burning quill is within, my lord. Enter.
Lord Marquis?
What is it?
One of our brethren lately journeyed across the strait. He sent an owl some while ago, but...
Was he surveying another fallen?
No. The object of his study was a savior cult that has an ancient religion that worshipped Ultima. By gaining an understanding of this new faith, we hoped to learn more of the circles.
And so you sent one of your brothers to Ash? I can't...
Fully cognizant of I entrusted the mission to one of the most able of our order. The third, though he has been silent for some days now, I have thus far refrained, yet it seemed only right to inform you. For as you so earnestly advised me, it would not do to abandon a man.
But Ash is a big place.
Perhaps. The last owl I received from him mentioned a village. Mickelberg was its name. It lies in the southern reach. If aught ill befell him, I expected it.
Right.
You are much. Go then, with my hopes, and may the firebird's flame ever burn in your heart.
If this new faith really is an offshoot of the Circle of Malleus, then...
Let's concentrate on finding the third chair first, shall we?
This is the Required Tree, an archive where we of the Undying collect and collate our findings.
My lord. I am Goditha, retainer of House Rosfield. Your father, the Archduke Elwin, entrusted me with the delivery of a gift.
Lift up your head, Lady. You have our gratitude for your service to us.
I merely did my duty, as any proud Rosarian would.
My lady.
What exactly is the gift?
As I'm sure you know, it has long been the custom for the children of House Rosfield to be presented with certain...
Indeed it has. I thought...
And had he lived to see it, he would have presented you with the treasures I bear. Alas, he did not live. And he had intended to claim the Heartstone with which each armband was, but it was not to be.
I see.
It saddens me to bring them before you. It was your father's wish that you be presented with the finish, but with his grace long since gone, and the stone left unclaimed, I had little choice. You are grown men now, and his house is yours. And while I would not presume to insist upon your claiming the Heartstone in his stead, I know that nothing would have...
Thank you, Lady Goditha.
What say you, Clive?
What else? Of course, my lady.
Oh, I am...
Do you know where we might find this Heartstone, my lady?
I do. Though it may be a matter of a good deal more, it is found in the bellies of elder griffins. We do at least know where to find one. A certain specimen.
A certain
You are most perceptive, Your Grace. In fact, this is the very same beast your father meant to slay. I have been tracking its movement. Were you to slay it in his stead, as men of House Rosfield?
What say you?
What else?
The griffin your father meant to slay is currently nesting in Titan's Wake, not far from here. Slay it in his stead.
Fly, Ambrosia. Eyes peeled, Joshua.
There it is!
The House Rosfield. Divine Hound. Thanks, boy. Is this the Heartstone?
I expect Lady Goditha will know.
Beneath the flood, yes. And not a stone thrown away.
Here's the scraps you're after. Oh, thank the griffin is...
And the Heartstone
Yes, this radiant luster like frozen flame. It is just as your father described it. Thank you, my lord. Your father would be...
Lady Goditha.
Thank you, Cyril. I will be with... If you would excuse me, I shall have the... The armbands are prey. Heartstone is harder and more enduring than garnet, or even ruby. It's simple, and the graven vines encircling the stone.
It's a message. Father knew we had enemies both inside, enemies who would thwart his vision. Only
Only if we stood together, as Phoenix and Shield, as brothers in arms. Only then.
Indeed. His Grace knew the enormity, but this was more than just it was a promise.
Thank you for remaining the steadfast custodian of our father's will.
Forgive me, my lady. There is something I don't quite understand. The Undying told me that after Father died, Mother claimed all of the ducal treasures for her own, even if the armbands were incomplete. So...
Because I was the keeper of the vault. Though I was but a lowly servant, you're of the deep love he had for both of you. And in the days before the disaster at Phoenix Gate, I discovered that the Duchess had ordered... I tried to warn your father, but it was... When word of the fire reached Rosalith, I knew my time was short. So I took up the...
And thanked the Founder.
Yet my duty to your father was incomplete. Not knowing what else to do, I followed the Griffin, thinking I might claim the heart, and so my pursuit continued. Until he informed me that His Grace's will had been recovered. And that his sons were alive.
Lady Goditha, on behalf of my father and all the people of Rosaria.
As do I.
Thank you, my lord, for coming back to us.
The bands suit you well. It must be gratifying to finally receive the inheritance that...
It is. And we thank you.
If you would permit me to play my part a little longer, let him see that you have received his blessing.
I suppose it would be churlish not to. What do you say, Clive?
I think we should. I was hoping to be able to offer him my thanks.
Your father's helm is enshrined there. It has been since the day we recovered it from Ffxvi. I prithee claim it. For it too is, and I do not doubt that your father would prefer it in your hand.
Thank you, Cyril. Come on, Clive.
Come on. Faster!
Unwavering will and an unbreakable bond. Do you really think we're strong enough?
Save the world? Of course. To have overcome Father's political enemies. That I'm less certain. Especially knowing what we know now. What Mother was truly capable of. Perhaps these bands would have helped. Knowing he was with us would have made all the difference.
It's just back there. Father always fought for what he believed was right. It wasn't until that night at Phoenix Gate that I realized I had never fought for anything. I always had someone else to do the fighting for me.
No matter how fate conspired against him, he never lost heart, never looked back, never stopped fighting. To me, he was the greatest of men. And I've been trying to live up to his ideals ever since.
We all have, Clive. We all have. And we'll keep trying. Because that's what he would have wanted.
What he would have done himself. Even if it meant standing against the very gods in the heavens.
I shall be borrowing this, Father, if I may. That you might watch over us as we follow in your footsteps.
We won't lay you down.
Onward then.
Onward. To the end.
And to a new beginning.